mind me asking, what are we in for?
You ever watch Power Rangers?
No,
Ninja Turtles?
no,
Sailor Moon?
no.
Beetleborgs?
Yes, I have, amongst some of the other things he said. However, I have something that lets me talk about Beetleborgs. I very rarely get to talk about Beetleborgs on this channel. We do Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Sentai, Ultraman, Transformers, lots of things, but Beetleborgs, not so much. And I'm super excited to have it. This is a reissue of the complete edition of the Jyukou B-Fighter Beat Commander, or as the American audience knows it, the Beetle Bonder. Now, if you weren't aware, yes, much like Power Rangers, much like Masked Rider, Masked Rider! Japanese show, Jyukou B-Fighter. And the Metallics is adapted from B-Fighter Kabuto. There are two different seasons of Metal Heroes. Metal Heroes is kind of one of the lost sections of Toku that I don't really talk about because I haven't watched it at all outside of some clips of transformations. But like, it's a lot wider than Sentai or Kamen Rider, because like Metal Hero goes from things like space sheriffs, cops with like a sort of suit of armor, all the way to oddities like one of my favorites, Jan Person. He's not a person. He's a robot who puts on a battle suit to fight crime, and he's RoboCop if RoboCop put on another RoboCop suit. And his name is Jan Person. It's just hilarious. But Beetleborgs. I loved Beetleborgs growing up. Because like Power Rangers, considered who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a Power Ranger as a kid. Beetleborgs was closer to, I don't want to say who I was, but like, they were kind of just regular young kids who happened to get superpowers by making a wish after saving a Casper the Friendly Elvis impersonator mixed with that Robin Williams movie with like the rubbery goo. Was it Flubber? Or is his name Flubber? He was a genie who did Elvis impersonations, who was a ghost, who... I need a whole video to break him down just what he is, and I'm not sure I could do it. However, he did give them a wish. The three kids, Drew, Joe, and Roland. Are we Borderlands 2, Roland? Let me save you with my gun. And they wished to become the heroes from the comic books. The comic books being the Beetleborgs. Which, when you think about it, nobody else in their little town ever noticed and said, hey, those heroes look like the ones from the comic books. How is that possible? That being said, I've wanted a Beetle Bonder since I was a kid. Because growing up, all I had was this McDonald's version. If you know the Beetle Bonder, feel free to point out all the ways it's wrong. I'll save the effort. The picture inside is the metallic suits from Season 2, where they did not use this transformation device. They had a separate one. You have two sets of horns when each Beetle Bonder had a different set of horns for the Beetleborg. And also you could open it up with just moving the... I also had a few of these. I swear I had the gold, the purple, and I might have had this over because you can kind of see inside. It's like a lenticular, like the picture changes depending on the angle you look at it. I'm pretty sure I had the purple, but I didn't have the other two. This thing and the thing in the top middle. I now have this. So this is the Beetle Bonder / Beat Commander, the main transformation device for the Beetleborgs / Bee Fighter. I'm mostly going to refer to them by Beetleborgs, although I may include the Bee Fighter names at some point. But I love the design of it. Like, first off, it's a handful, and it kind of almost looks like a brick. Like, this was 95, 96. So yeah, very sort of emblematic of that era. But also, I just like the look of it, like the silver with the... I didn't mean to activate that yet. We'll talk about that. With the little dots of red and the down arrow in chrome. Also, the button down here is chromed. I love it. It's absolutely excess. And like silver paint and the wiring, making it look more mechanical. But you can kind of see like the shell of a beetle right here. This piece. You can see the split. And these are moving pieces, but they kind of look like eyes a little bit to me. You also have two buttons on the side. And a speaker back here with some nice mechanical detailing and an obvious gap in the top. We'll talk about that. So to open it, that low button is there. See if I can... Do I have a... I know I have a pen on me. It's not right next to me. But you slide that out, and you get the battery compartment for 3 AAAs, and the on and off switch, which in this case will turn it off, and then turn it back on. And it doesn't have activation sound, but you do have... If you have nothing attached to it up there to indicate which fighter is transforming, it will give you that sort of generic I heard the word power, and I'm guessing just something like don't do this, basically. Like you can't transform without one of these. These are attachments, and they're used to indicate which Borg is using it. So this is the one for Blue Beat / the Blue Stinger Beetleborg. Drew, who was the de facto leader of the 3, and also he got the superpower of telekinesis. So you slide it over the top, and it fills the gap, and the detailing very much looks like it belongs there. And now you've activated one of the set of sounds. Okay. You can see that there's a little buttons there. So if this one's pressed down, it activates one set of sounds. If the other one's pressed down, it activates a different set. And if they're both pressed down, it activates the third set of sounds. Also included in the box is this handy little stand. You can slide it there and can sit proud and erect. You can laugh. And these instructions. So here is the one for Blue Beat, the Blue Stinger. We have G Stag, aka Blue Green Hunter. Either, yeah, I think. And Reddle, a Red Striker, who was Joe, the girl on the team. I believe she was basically like she didn't dress she was a tomboy, and her power was super strength. You also have Roland, whose power was super speed. So he was the Flash, and he was the black kid. Like, his dad worked at the comic book shop. They visited regularly. And I believe his dad's mother, no, it was either Roland's dad or uncle. Don't remember which one, but that character's mother, early in the season, won a martial arts tournament. And they have a whole, part of an episode where she's on a bus, traveling after she's won it, and, telling everyone how she won this tournament, which, she had to be in her 60s, so it's, more power to you. Damn. So, let's plug it in. Actually, yes. Because their transformation is Jyukou, which means heavy shell. But no. We don't do that. We do Beetle Bonder! Beetle Blast! I hope I triggered at least somebody's nostalgia. This thing doesn't know when to shut up. Oh, we'll get... But I guess to transform properly, we can... Jyukou! That is a long transformation process and sound. And I love the fact that the wings open up. It wasn't a surprise because I already spoiled it, but oh well. And they form actual wings. That's really cool. So I pulled this guy out, but I'll show him off more. Each of them comes with 2. Four. 6 of these little Beetleborgs figures. I didn't even show off the box enough because there's a picture of all 3 of them and a picture of Blue Beat on the back. And I love these designs. They're so good at looking like armor. That's one of the things about Metal Heroes that I wish I got into it more, because just the suits themselves are so cool. Because Jyukou meaning heavy shell, because they're putting on a heavy shell of insect themed armor. And you would expect a transformation to be just the suit magically appears on them. And the Beetleborgs, they have a really cool team transformation where they're the comic book literally comes to life, and that's awesome. But then they have an individual transformation that, well, I think it needs to be seen rather than described.
Let's get in the final battle! Yeah!
Yeah. It's just okay. Yeah. But I love even the inner design, that circuit board kind of pattern. You can see with the little gray button there, sort of where these guys plug onto. They have a hole right in their belt. Yeah, you get a colored in and a translucent version. I assume the translucent version is because when they open it to transform, it's fully colored, but when the light shines, it shines like that. Even though I would probably leave that one in just because I don't think it shows off very much with the translucent version. And now we have a set of voice clips for, I guess as you heard, when this thing is not active, it doesn't shut up. It does that. It just this. Okay, apparently Blue Beat's name is Kai Taguya, but I'm just gonna close it. If you press the button before transformation, you get... I didn't mean to activate the theme song, but you get a roll call. Their group name. You get a whole... I'm not going to go through them all. You get a lot. I could do a separate video. It's like there's long enough. And for what I understand, Kai Taguya is kind of like the most generic anime protagonist you can think of. He's just kind of an anime protagonist. That's all of what I've heard, but can you kind of see there's a little bit of paint scratch right there? I'm sure I did that, but yeah, he's just... So if you press the button on the bottom, you get the song that was playing earlier. Kind of, I think it's their theme song, or it's one of the insert songs. So it is his dad. And his grandmother. Roland's. Okay. And I was right about Green Hunter slash G Stag. Well, he said it. I gotta do it. And I love how these completely change the profile of the top of it. Like, it somehow looks bigger with the stag beetle horns. Because G-Stag is obviously based off a stag beetle. And Blue Beet is based off a Japanese rhino beetle. And for one to understand just playing with this toy, G-Stag is basically the angry one. He just kind of sounds like the angry one. If you hold down the background button, the second button, you get a different set of voice clips centered around the Beat machines. They're sort of mechs. They're not Zords because they don't combine. They're just like big vehicles that they pilot. Yeah. I guess his is Stag Tank. And you get a second song for the Beat machines. You get the same with Blue Beat, except they each have different Beat Machine sound bites related to each character. And now the last one, Reddle, Red Striker. Now somebody tried to tell me that she is based off a female Japanese rhino beetle, but no. If you look on the Hero Wiki, her motif is labeled Ladybug, which is exactly what I thought. She's a ladybug, just like the Metallic's upgrade is based off a ladybug. I can't remember the Kabuto name of it off the top of my head, but you get this attachment, and come on, those are ladybug antenna. Come on. It's so cute. They're so small. And I guess I forgot to show off, but if you press the button too many times, you get a warning to not do that. And it has to like do a recharge. I want a size comparison. Here's my phone. Like, remember back in the 90s when things were just bricks? Yeah, that's good. So, my one issue with this toy shows up here. Yes, because there are no clips. There are no clips. Shut up! There are no clips from Mai. Like, Red'll... Like, there are no clips of her talking. Either of her. That might actually be why, because the actress playing Mai left at one point during the show. They replaced her. The same thing happened to Joe in Beetleborgs. The first actress playing Joe left, although I didn't watch enough episodes to actually know the difference. Like I'm currently rewatching it on YouTube. I found like all the episodes. I'm slowly working my way through it. After I knew this was going to be in my hands shortly before the end of last year, I was like, I gotta go back and watch because I found it and I want to watch it. I'm like, yeah. The only thing I can think of is because they had to change actresses, they didn't include voice clips from either of her actresses. It's just G-Stag telling her to do things. Like, come on, really? Even referring to it as her code name at one point. Like So we've switched modes, and in the other mode, you don't get a transformation, but apparently my version of this also likes to get stuck. There we go. But if you hold the top button, that's all you get. That's a... Hold it. Let's go back to the other mode. Hold it down again. Yeah, that's all you get. So you can see the inner mechanism. Let's switch mode so I don't get that again. You can see the button just sort of moves that up. But, I love this toy. Absolutely. I have wanted to own this version of this toy, or any version of this toy, since I was a kid. And like, to have it now, and pretty much the 30th anniversary, because B-Fighter debuted, I want to say, like, it ran 96 to 97, and then Kabuto ran 97, 98. It's like, I was 4, probably. Yeah, I'd say 4 years old when that show came out. And like 96. I don't know if Beetleborgs debuted 96. I have to properly look that up. Yep. 96 to 98. So same time as B Fighter aired. Yeah. Like, I'm sure they made toys, because I have a few still, action figures, but I really hope they made a proper toy of this back then, and I just didn't know about it. McDonald's version, that's all I had. I didn't know they were in stores. This has been sitting on my desk for weeks now, just because I don't want to put it away. Like, I don't want to stop playing with it. It has the similar effect to the original Morpher, the Power Morpher, but like on a different level, because Power Rangers has been with me. I've been like absorbed in it most of my life, but like Beetleborgs was almost like a there and gone, but it still left a big imprint here that it's just I haven't had it for so long that I've like, you know, it's kind of built up in the back, so being like, oh, you want me? Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Oh, look at this. And then I don't know why. I must not have had a lot of money when they no, that isn't it? Because this is a re-release from like probably last year, maybe a year before. Like, I swear I looked at this, and I looked at the figure arts, and I said, oh, I should get those, and then just never did. It's one of those things where I just never did, until I realized they were re-releasing it, and I said, gotta have it. But this isn't the only thing I grabbed, because no, with every light, there's a darkness. Every blue, the color black. Every bright, there is a shadow. And so next time, we'll cross over to the dark side. Who turned off the lights?